Good morning, my students. How are you today? I hope you're happy. Okay, so today is, you see the date by yourselves. We'll have the project time, and it's a food collage. Okay, so we are going to make a food collage. Okay, so before that you are going to open your student book to page 48. Open your student book to page 48. Look at A. Choose foods, ask and answer. Okay, for example, I'm going to choose apples. I say, I like apples. Do you like apples? You are going to ask your father or your mother or your brother or your sister. Okay, so you say, I like apples. Do you like apples? You repeat, I like apples. Do you like apples? That's good. Okay, so in foods, we have foods that come from animals and foods that come from plants. Okay, and foods that come from animals and foods that come from plants. So for the animals, we have a cow here and the milk. Okay, so the milk comes from the cow. And we have here a plant. Okay, it's an apples tree or apples plant. And we have here apples. Okay, and we have here apples. Okay, so we have foods that come from animals and foods that come from plants. Okay, for example, fish, it comes from the animal fish. Okay, and plants, we have oranges, bananas, okay, and so on. In B, make a food collage. Number one, the first step you are going to do is to think of foods from animals and plants. You are going to think. Okay, you have here some examples. Okay, for animals we have milk, egg, burgers and fish. And for plants, foods, oranges, rice, potatoes and salad. Okay, so we have here the foods that come from animals and the foods that come from plants. Number two, the second step is you are going to draw or find pictures of foods from magazines, newspapers or in the internet. Okay, so you are going to draw with your pencils or to use magazines, newspapers or the internet. And you are going to write captions and text on your collage similar to the collage on your student book, page 48. So you are going to need a paper, crayons, markers, pictures of foods or food items. So here you are going to need a paper. Okay, it's a paper. The first thing you are going to do is to write the food. Okay, you are going to write the title of our collage, which is food. F-O-O-D. Then you are going to write animals. We are going to start with animals. We are going to start with foods that come from animals. Okay, we have an example here of milk and we have eggs. Okay, so I'm going to write milk, then eggs. Okay, you can add other pictures, 3 or 4 pictures. Okay, then we move to the food that come from plants. The same thing, we are going to I choose apples here and bananas. Then I write apples, then bananas. Okay, so this is an example of a collage that you are going to do. You are going to draw or to find pictures of foods that come from animals or foods that come from plants. Then you are going to write your names, to write your full names. And the last thing you are going to do is to talk about your collage. It means you are going to point, for example, to milk or other picture you have and say this is milk, I like milk. Or to point, for example, rice and say this is rice, I like rice. This is fish, I like fish. This is okay, so this is I like.